Meanwhile, this past Sunday, 60 Minutes aired a piece that accused Florida Governor Ron DeSantis of a pay-to-play scheme during the state's COVID vaccine rollout.
Publix, as you know, donated $100,000 to your campaign, and then you rewarded them with the exclusive rights to distribute the vaccination in Palm Beach.
First of all, what you're saying is wrong.
How is that not pay-to-play?
That's a fake narrative. I met with the county mayor. I met with the administrator. I met with all the folks at Palm Beach County, and I said, here's some of the options. We can do more drive-through sites. We can give more to hospitals. We can do the Publix. And they said, we think that would be the easiest thing for our residents.
The criticism is that it's pay-to-play, Governor.
It's wrong. It's a fake narrative.
Somebody else who says it's a fake narrative is the Democratic mayor of Palm Beach County, slamming the 60 Minutes report, saying, quote, the reporting was not just based on bad information, it was intentionally false, and CBS and 60 Minutes should be ashamed. Join us now with the reaction, Fox News contributor and media opinion columnist for The Hill, Joe Concha. Joe, good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve. Happy Tuesday.
Thank you very much. So if the mayor is saying that it was intentionally false, that means 60 Minutes was intending to do what?
They're intending to shape a narrative. They had a plan going into that press conference with Ron DeSantis. They had a plan before they even put together this package to hear what DeSantis had to say with an answer to the question. So, yes, when a Democratic mayor of Palm Beach County says that it's intentionally false, this isn't 60 Minutes, the rookie organization that just happened to make some sort of human error. This is a broadcast news magazine that's been in the top 10 in ratings for 50 years. They've been on the air. And to see this happen with such a watched news show on CBS, look, it is something they should be ashamed of, because this is bias of omission 101. And remember, reporters even in Florida that have been critical of DeSantis many times in the past are also calling this untrue. But the bias of omission here, to only play a few seconds of Ron DeSantis' answer when it was actually 2 minutes long, and it was thorough. It was meticulous. It laid out why Publix was chosen, not by him, but by Florida's Division of Emergency Management, who happens to be a Democrat, by the way. The bottom line is that Publix has over 800 locations in Florida. Axios did a poll in 2020 showing that it's the #1 most trusted company in the United States. So people really like Publix, particularly in Florida. And when you're dealing with a vaccine and distribution, you have to have a company that you trust. The private sector has been very effective in terms of getting this vaccine out. But the results, Steve, this should be the story that 60 Minutes should have focused on. The results, because the numbers are indisputable. For seniors 65 and over, since the beginning of the year, cases are down 80%. Hospitalizations are down 53%. Did you hear that anywhere in that piece? Of course not. So, yeah, they really have egg on their face this morning, Steve. 60 Minutes does.
It's not just egg, it's a whole omelet, Joe. When you look, though, at what CBS did, you know, I've got friends who regard the way they have evolved over the last number of years. They have become more and more political. They lean further to the political left. And when you look at Ron DeSantis, who is on the Republican side an insurgent and could actually run for president, you know, the CPAC poll a couple of months ago, he was #1 among everybody, not including Donald Trump. So maybe they were just trying to neutralize a guy who could run against Joe.
And this will have a boomerang effect, because as we've seen now all the criticism, Ron DeSantis became that much bigger as a national figure, as a threat to win the Republican nomination. You talk to any Trump supporter, Steve, a solid majority of them will say, if Trump doesn't win, DeSantis is my guy. I don't hear anybody else even mention the conversation. They certainly don't want a congressman or a senator they're seen as being from the swamp. It doesn't matter if they're Republicans or not. DeSantis is the guy. And what I want to know is, with 60 Minutes being based in New York and everything, when is that profile coming on Andrew Cuomo and his handling of nursing homes or of vaccine distribution? Because overall, Florida has an older population, it has a larger population, it has 4 major cities, and Florida has 17,000 fewer deaths than New York. Florida's been open since last year. New York has basically been shut down until recently. Boy, that would be a pretty good story for 60 Minutes to cover, but they're not going to do it, are they? Because as you said, they've become partisan, and it's a shame, because watching that show I did as a kid with my parents and thought, wow, this is really really good stuff. Now it just seems to be what everything else is, an extension of the Democratic Party, unfortunately.
Especially when you look at the fact that he answered that correspondent's question with all the details, and they cut him out. CBS said we did that for clarity. Yeah, it became very clear what they were up to. Joe, thank you very much for joining us live from your secret location.
Underground bunker, undisclosed. Yes, thank you, Steve.